What is going on, Washington fans? Welcome to A to Z Sports Washington. It's your boy Josh Taylor, and my dishwasher is running in the background. So if you can hear that, I apologize. But I told y'all last week, obviously Washington had a bye week this weekend, which is great. They didn't have to stress about any games or anything like that. But I told y'all that we would do a mock draft just because we had a bye week. Doesn't mean I'm going to skip a Monday night with y'all. Are you kidding me? Like this is what I look forward to all week. And of course, with Draft Talk, I've been doing some draft articles, and I actually just finished writing up a trade back 3-round mock draft for the Commanders that goes out at 6 a.m. So keep an eye out on that on A2ZSports.com. Go to the Washington Commanders site. And I did some names I haven't used yet, which was fun. I love doing that because it forces you to do some more research and stuff like that. But before we jump into it, I'm going to do 2 mock drafts, all 7 rounds. I'll do a trade back one, and I'll do a regular one for y'all. What's going on? Master Andrew says hi. Liquid Alex, what's going on? Yo. Welcome. Make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure you hit thumbs up wherever you are. And if you aren't on YouTube, come over to YouTube and subscribe to the channel. Appreciate that. But before we do, a couple of news out of Ashburn today. Finally heard from Dan Quinn, first time in a week. Jayden Daniels will be back at practice, but he is not cleared for contact yet. So he is a long shot to play against the Denver Broncos. Sounds like the Vikings is like the marker, as Dan Quinn loves to say. They want to hit all these markers. They want to hit all these markers and ramping up and stuff like that. So I highly doubt Jayden Daniels is going to play Sunday night against the Broncos, which that's fine. I didn't expect it. But him coming back against the Vikings would be best case scenario for this team. And hopefully Terry McLaurin will be there. Terry McLaurin was back at practice today, which was a light walkthrough. But once again, another Dan Quinn term. He loves to say they're ramping up. Apparently, Terry McLaurin is hoping to ramp up the rest of this week. So we'll see. But as always, I will keep y'all up to date on everything on X, on YouTube, and of course the articles on A2ZSports.com. But let's get to some of these chats and we'll hop on PFF. What is going on? Appreciate y'all coming through. Master Andrew, I hope we draft someone as good as Commanders fans suddenly think Forbes is now. Don't even get me started on all that. What's going on, my guy Abdullah? Better get us a defensive playmaker. You know it. I will say my philosophy, and this might not be right, but I feel like it's a better philosophy. I like defensive players more in free agency than I do in the draft. And hear me out. And I'm sure I'll talk about this with the mock draft, but hitting on a pass rusher in the first round is so hit or miss. I'm not saying Abdul Carter is going to be a bust because I don't think so. I think he's going to be fine. But he had really not much of an impact at all this season for the Giants. But then when you look at some wide receivers, Ted McMillan, Emeka Egbuka, those kind of young, look what Jackson Smith and Jigba did since he came into the league. Puka Nacua, a lot of these wide receivers hit and make an impact so much earlier than pass rushers. You have to get lucky and get a Will Anderson or an Aiden Hutchinson. But if you look at this past year, Shamar, Kel Williams, Donovan Ezeraku was in the second round, was the only one that's really done much. But outside of that, it's man, these offensive guys are playing better than a lot of these defensive players. I'd say corner usually hits a little bit faster unless you're drafted by Washington. What's going on, Doug? Kind of crazy how Daniels is back out of practice. I think it is, but he's not clear for contact, so it kind of makes sense. Tyson versus Tate, maybe that is a discussion. And I'll say Tyson versus Tate versus Mekhi Lemon. I'm telling you, I honestly right now, breaking news, I have Mekhi Lemon over Carnell Tate. I have Mekhi Lemon up there with Jordan Tyson. But man, this is going to be a fun mock draft. Like I said, we'll knock out 2. That's what George Carmi, shout out to George, has been saying on Twitter lately. Draft wide receiver first round because they succeed more likely, for sure. And that's not saying every single one's going to hit. Jahan Dotson, we already tried it once and it didn't work. But for me, it's just you have a higher hit rate. It all depends on the player, the situation, the scheme they're coming into. I said that today. Fit, and because people were talking about, obviously Cam Curl and Forbes last night and how they've been balling out all season for the Rams. But fit, situation is just as important as talent. It all has to be there for a player to hit. So it makes sense. If Washington stays around the 6 to 9 range, would you trade back a few picks for some more capital? So I'll do that tonight, and we'll do a regular one to stay put as well. Jordan Tyson is the dream. Thoughts on Jeremiah Love? I love Jeremiah Love, no pun intended. But he's just such a luxury pick. I don't know if Washington is a luxury team. Like, you think about the Lions when they took Jahmyr Gibbs, like, you felt like they were on the brink of being really good. They had a lot of really good pieces around them. I also say take the best players in the draft, and Jeremiah Love is top 3, top 4 player in the draft. So I'm so back and forth on that. I haven't thought too much of that being a possibility yet. Actually had him going to Arizona in my last mock draft. Ohio State corner Jermaine Matthews Jr. or Georgia wide receiver Zachariah Branch are both on my wish list. So Branch is one that I've been definitely heating up with lately. So let me pull up this mock draft simulator. We can get this thing going if I can see the screen, because I know y'all want to watch some Monday Night Football. We got 49ers and Panthers tonight, which usually is not a good game, but surprise, surprise, this season is insane. It is a good one. So I am on PFF tonight. I have been using another mock draft simulator that was recommended to me by one of the GOATs, and I'm kind of gatekeeping it right now because I just want to use it some more and really get familiar with it before I just shoot it out and recommend it to everyone. But of course, PFF charges and this company doesn't. So maybe I'll share it coming up soon. But for now, it's the underground draft website. But so far, I do like it. But I'm really just trying to match up their big board with a lot of the top ones. So obviously right now, during the bye week, Washington did not get any help when it comes to their draft pick. And they're still at number 7. And the one thing that drives me nuts about PFF, though, is that they never get these picks right, especially for trades. So I had Tankathon up because I know we have 773, 147, 186. The 191 is the one they're missing. I know these are slightly off. But as long as we can get that 190 from Minnesota, we will be cooking. So let me go over here. Let's steal this pick from them. Thank you. We're just going to force it and not get anything in return. Bam. Now we have all 6 of our picks. So let's see how this one plays out. Arvell Reese. Yeah, if Arvell Reese is there at 7, then absolutely. Which, I don't want to say this, but there's honestly a chance. And hear me out. There are some red flags. I don't know too much about it, but I have heard things. I have seen things on Arvell Reese that will maybe pop up in April. And like I said, it's just, I don't know the details about it, so don't be asking me what's wrong with them. But I've seen multiple people come out and say, there are some concerns with Arvell Reese. We'll see what happens. Maybe it forces him to fall, not as far as Mike Green, for crying out loud. But I have no idea what it is. But I have just heard that there are some red flags with Arvell Reese that may make him fall. Because you have guys like Reuben Bain Jr., you have Caleb Downs, you have your quarterbacks with Simpson, Mendoza, Moore, and then, of course, Jordan Tyson. So if he's here on the board, I feel like you would have to get Arvell Reese. I feel like at this spot, it's either going to be Reese or Reuben Bain, or Downs. I think it's going to be one of the defensive players. I think there's a lot of teams that could use a wide receiver. Especially the Browns, but a lot of the teams that have been linked to Jordan Tyson have been the Browns, the Giants. Even the Cardinals, the Dolphins, if they were to trade up and get him. But if Arvell Reese is here, then yeah, for the sake of this, I have to take Reese because he can be an on the ball linebacker. He can also be an edge guy. Kind of if you think of what Micah Parsons, did, started out as a linebacker, then, went to edge. Same with Chop Robinson. Abdul Carter was a linebacker, then he switched to edge. Kind of that same thing. But I actually don't think the Saints will go quarterback. They just drafted one last year. But Tyler Shuck is so bad. They cannot actually think that Tyler Shuck is the answer, especially if they have a lot of changes. It's just that is such a bad team. I honestly feel bad for them. What's going on, Range? Welcome. But for the sake of this one, I'm going to take Arvell Reese just because he's on the board here. Will he actually be available by this pick? A lot can change. Like I said, a lot can change from now to April, and there might be some stuff that makes him fall down, but I'm not going to pass up on him because he can do everything for you. His ability to get to the quarterback is absolutely insane. So if we go with defense, I really like Kamari Ramsey too. I kind of wanted another defender here, but let's see what we got on the board. Max Clare at tight end, Jack Andrees at tight end. Michael Trigg is one of my favorite tight end options in the draft. I love Trigg. He might be tight end one for me, either him or Eli Stowers. He's a beast as well. Nick Anderson's been a big disappointment. I really like Derek Moore, but we just took Reese to be that off the ball or on the ball linebacker, especially if you're gonna put him on the edge. You can do a lot of stuff with him. Dang, this one's tough. This one is tough. Need a corner or best wide receiver here with the second pick is what truth be told is saying. And truth be told, gosh, I don't like Nick Anderson at 71 at all. Skylar Bell would be nice. Skylar Bell's one of those underrated ones. See, I don't even see that many. I mean, Everett at corner, not really on my list. Gosh, Julian Neal. Oh, I could honestly see Omar Cooper being there. This is the guy that had that crazy catch against Penn State, by the way. I mean, they have him at 93, but I just don't see that being the case at all. 740 yards right now with Mendoza, 10 touchdowns, 60% contested catch rate, 2.61 yards per run. Drop rate's only 5.2. I'll take that. 20 missed tackles forced, which is tied for 8th in the country. I mean, if you're getting him with a third round pick, I feel like Omar Cooper is a steal at that point. And he's not gonna be the 93rd overall player. This 71 is gonna be a little bit closer, if not higher than that, because once you get that first little bunch of Tate and Tyson and Mekhi Lemon gone, I'd put Omar Cooper there. I would put what's the other one? Jacoby Lane. I'd put him there as well. So I'm gonna go Omar Cooper with this pick. I know our next pick is not until 146. But that's a home run guy. I'm a big fan of him at wide receiver. And now, of course, we don't have a 4th round pick as well. So no 2nd, no 4th in this mock draft. I'll trade back in the next one. Oh, Demond Claiborne, that's my guy. Shout out to Claiborne. I like him a lot. Oh, there's some good running backs here. Justice Haynes, CJ Baxter. I'm really trying not to. Ooh, Jalen Kilgore. I like Kilgore a lot. Kind of want to go secondary here anyways. I don't know much about Genesis Smith, to be honest with you, but Kilgore is a pro guy for me. Darth Gaming says Genesis Smith is a beast. See, I don't know enough about Genesis Smith yet, but he is on my list. But I do know, yeah, Kilgore for me is the obvious pick here. I'm a big fan of Kilgore. He's had some tough matchups this year. But I mean, he's passed the eye test. He's only allowed 266 yards, only 1 touchdown. He had 1 interception. He had 5 interceptions last year. Played in the slot a lot, which, I mean, with Washington, does Mikey go back outside? Does he go back outside? That, to me, that's the biggest question. I don't think it, and I did an article about this too. Obviously, Washington's going to get a new defensive coordinator, and they're going to come in here and put their blueprint down and say, look, this is what I'm looking for. This is where I want Mikey. This is where I want these players at. And he's going to do everything like Frankie Louvu. This is where I want him to be, and just change things in their way. Whether that's one of Dan Quinn's guys, not saying in-house, but like a Raheem Morris, or someone of that caliber. But for me, it's just like this defense needs so much change, scheme wise, coaching wise, player wise, you name it. And like I said, Kilgore, 6'1", 211, and he's playing in the slot, and he's only 20. He'll be 21 in 2 months. Like, yeah, sign me up for that. Jalen Kilgore, you are a Dan Quinn corner. Welcome to Washington. So let's look what we got real quick. Arvell Reese at linebacker / edge. Probably plays on the I would put him on the edge for our defense, honestly. Omar Cooper at wide receiver and Jalen Kilgore at corner. Let's see who just went before us. Bishop, Fitzgerald, Chase Roberts, Jane Roberts, Jacario Davis, Godwin. How long have we seen Tacario Davis's name in mock draft simulators? Good Lord. It seems like it's been like 5 years. All right, now we're looking. Oh, I already know who I want. Tanner Koziol. This is a guy I did in my 7-round mock draft. I knew nothing about him, and I started watching his film and stuff. I'm like, holy smokes, this guy is outrageous. Tanner Koziol, great receiving grade. Not much of a run blocker, but that's fine. We already have 2 of those. 69.6% catch rate, only a 3.3 drop rate. He only has what? How many drops? Like 1 or 2. It's not much. I think it's like 1. He has 2. Yards per route run, 2.21. 16 contested catches as a tight end, first in the country. Holy smokes. Zach Ertz has to go. Zach Ertz has to go. And I know people see this and like, oh, that's kind of worrisome. I mean, this year, he's got 5 touchdowns, 592 yards. He's averaging 10.2 yards per catch. And from the plays I have seen, he has big playability. But he's also just a big-time red zone threat. So, like, when they're feeding him, they're giving him opportunities in the red zone. But he had one, I forgot who it was against. I think it was Oklahoma State. He had a good seam route where he just, split the defense wide open and took it to the crib. It's either Oklahoma State or Oregon State. I can't remember. But Hunter's one of those guys that's been on my board for a while now. So this guy is not a blocking tight end at all. This guy is a straight up receiving option. Thoughts on Malik Muhammad, the corner from Texas? I like him a lot too. As a freshman, he was a baller. I'm not sure where they're projecting him to go. What's going on radar? If the third rounder can get to 68 or 70, it's almost like a conditional second. Yeah, I can see that. Ben Snott, he's just a blocking tight end for now. But we've seen that he can be a threat in the receiving game. Like his college receiving tape was so good. He's so good after the catch. I just don't think he's had like many opportunities. And I think it's because when you are a third tight end on a team, you're not going to be given targets. I don't care if you have 6 wide receivers on IR. Like if you are a third tight end, it is going to be so hard for you to be an actual option in the passing game. And I think it's just too early. I think obviously Zach Ertz has to go because he's 33rd in yards after catch. Mickey, I can flash my picks. It sounds a little weird, but I can flash my picks. Arvell Reese, Omar Cooper Jr., and Jalen Kilgore. Edge, wide receiver, and corners so far. And honestly, right now, I'm leaning towards I'm really leaning towards Tanner Koziol, Oscar Delp. I like Smith Snowden. Yeah, I'm gonna get a receiving tight end to help us out on offense. I like Bud Clark too, though. He's kind of old, but he's just straight up G. I do like Bud Clark. That's a little too low for me. So I'm gonna take Tanner Koziol. If you don't know him, look up his highlights. Well, maybe not highlights, but just watch full games of Houston. They're not the best team in the world, but he's a really good receiving threat. I'm a big fan. He just mosses everybody that gets in his way. He's a gigantic man. What's he like 6'7", 250. Yikes. Yeah. Give me that all day long. Straight up receiving guy. Bates and Sanant, y'all can block. I'm putting Tanner in the slot and telling him to maul some guys. So we got another 6th round pick. This is the one that we get via San Francisco, via Minnesota, who continues to lose. So this pick gets a little bit better. So we got our edge / linebacker. We got our wide receiver. We got a corner. We got tight end. Other things I'm looking at, safety. They say guard. We don't need a guard. I think they're going to re-sign Chris Paul, 3-year deal. Not sure money-wise what the heck that's going to look like when you have a random depth guy just turn into a starter like that. Did I say 6'7"? I'm sorry. So I don't think guard is a need, to be honest with you. I disagree with them. I do agree with safety. Maybe another running back, maybe another wide receiver like Darius Taylor's a beast. Robert Spears Jennings, Jordan Castell. Who did I take here that I really like? God, Bud Clark just keeps looking at me. Bud Clark is a guy I keep circling. Damani Jackson, I love you, but you're just so bad against the run. Jordan Castell, but I haven't really watched him too much this year. I've been watching his teammates. Man, I might go Bud Clark, to be honest with you. Let me see what other safeties we got on the board that stand out to me. Peyton Bowen. Gosh, him in the 7th would be crazy. He's been playing really well. Gosh, Shaheem Brown. How old is he? Dang. We can either do Bud Clark or we can do Peyton Bowen. Bud Clark's like 30 years old, it feels like. Yeah, they don't even have his age. 6'2", 190, but he's really instinctive. I mean, big-time leader. God, I know he started out the season with interception. Does it not tell you how many interceptions he has right now? No, of course not. Oh, touchdowns allowed 4, interceptions 4. Wish I could see last year's. But yeah, he's been in college for forever. But I like Peyton Bowen too, to be honest with you. That might be the guy I go for. 6 foot 201. Them Bowen brothers. I know the other one just tore his Achilles. Jalen Catalon. That's another Unk in the draft. Jalen Catalon, safety to replace Quan is what Master Andrew said. Yeah, I'm really leaning towards safety. If I say I don't know too much about Robert Spears Jennings yet, but I might go Bud Clark, to be honest with you. I might go Bud Clark. Isaiah, what you got for me? Not that good in coverage, but he's good run defender. He's got to be a big dude. 6'1", 205. Makes sense. All right, let's go with Bud Clark. Nah, actually, let's go with Bowen. I changed my mind. Wherever he is. Peyton Bowen, welcome to Washington, my guy. All right, so we got linebacker, edge, wide receiver. God, we got all red teams. That's so weird. Wide receiver, corner, tight end, and safety. Let's just take somebody that's good. Darius Taylor's a beast. Parker Brailsford. If we need depth at center. Got another Unk. Michael's Sturdivant. Zane Durant. I like him. Kyle Lewis. Ooh, see it? I might go Kyle Lewis because we're gonna use Arvell Reese on the edge anyways. So let's get us a good true linebacker. And Kyle Lewis is one of my guys too. So that works out perfectly. That works out just fine. Good run stopper, great in coverage, 82 grade. The pit games I have seen, I've liked what I've seen. 6'1", 220. Heck yeah, Kyle Lewis. Let's go. Bam. Not a red team to end it, finally. All right, they're going to give us like a B-. I'll take it. I'm not even mad at it. So we got Arvell Reese on the edge, Omar Cooper Jr., stud wide receiver in the 3rd round. I think that's a great value pick. That might honestly, they gave us a D, but that's idiotic. That might honestly be one of my favorite value picks outside of Reese, obviously. Jalen Kilgore, corner I really like, to be honest with you. Him in the 5th round would be insane too. Tanner Koziol, tight end, 6'7", true receiving threat guy to replace Zach Ertz. And obviously, they didn't give us our pick, so I just forced the trade. For those that showed up late, Peyton Bowen, safety out of Oklahoma, replaces Quan Martin. And Kyle Lewis, more of a true linebacker since we have Arvell Reese on the edge. I like that. We might end up signing a running back in free agency. Yeah. I love this. I'm not drafting a running back again this year because I love the free agency class with Rico Dowdle, Kenneth Walker. I mean, Breece Hall. There's so many. There's like 6 or 7. J.K. Dobbins is another one. There's like 6 or 7 legit starters in free agency. And I'm sure I'll start doing some more like free agency articles and stuff like that too in the next few weeks. But Reese is my favorite, bro. Says Mitch is going on. Mitch Kilgore would be a 2nd round talent in the 5th round. That's what I'm saying. I like him a lot. Instead of a B, they should have gave us an A+. So That's the first one. We'll do a trade back scenario, which, takes a little bit longer, which is fine by me. But Reese Cooper, Jr., Kilgore, Koziol, Bowen, and Kyle Lewis, I feel good about that. And what I love about doing about these mock drafts is looking back at them and when March and April comes around, and we'll also see who gets invites to let me save this one, to the like Senior Bowl and stuff like that. Yes, allow. Which, of course, your boy's going to be going to again. And now let's do a trade back, which is what I did in my 3-round mock draft, which is dropping in the morning on A to Z Sports. So let's do this again. Minnesota, give us that pick that PFF refuses to give us. Start draft. Boom. All right, so we're at 7. Let's just say Arvo Reese is not on the board and someone's coming up to get Jeremiah Love. Cool. We got plenty of trade offers. With the players there, if you got to think realistic scenario, Jeremiah Love, Mekhi Lemon, love him to death. God, Jermon McCoy, that injury scares me. Keldrick Falk, who I like more than most people, which is saying a lot because I'm an Alabama fan. David Bailey, Mansour Delane, Cardinal Tate, Cassius Howe. These are all guys I would be ecstatic to get in the first round. So I would trade back. I would hate to get out of 10, but Dolphins are willing to come up. Vikings at 12. They would probably get Jeremiah Love. And then you have 2 teams that need a wide receiver in front of us. Cardinals need a quarterback too. I'm not sure how it's going to fall. Man, they're going to go offensive line. How far back should we trade? 9th is what I did. So a little preview. I traded back with the Cardinals in my mock draft article. And I like what I did, but I just did the 3 rounds on that one. So for me, farthest I'd go back is 12. I would not want to go past 12. And even that I'm pretty hesitant on. Like 11. Let's just say we do 11. They'll give us 63. Will they get? No, of course they won't. They'll give us 63 and a third next year and 140. Is that worth it? Go back 4 spots to get 63, which is what the comp picks is that. Yeah, that's end of the second. That's end of the second. Master Andrew said, yeah, I don't think we should go farther than 9. The rest of the teams there, I don't trust them. Yeah, that's kind of how I'm leaning. Let's just say we do go. Let's go 10. Let's go 10. They'll give us, they won't give us 42, 74 and a third and a fifth for next year. See, that just doesn't really do much for me. 73 and a third next year. They would take that. Gosh, I just really want that 63. I'm gonna do 11, and I'm gonna take 63 because I want that 63 so bad. I'll take a third, and we'll take 142. Go. They said no. How about 170? They said okay. All right. So we traded 7 for 11, 63, 170, and a third next year. I'll take that. Do you see us trading back? I'm on the fence about it. It really depends on how this is going to be a game time decision. I like Chris Bell and Jacoby Lane more than Lemon. Ooh, chill out, Radar. That is not allowed in the chat. I do like Chris Bell a lot. I've thrown the name AJ Brown around with him, and Jacoby Lane. He is as good as Mekhi Lemon is. Jacoby Lane impresses me too, like every single game. He's so good. He went off against Oregon. What you think about Peter Woods? And what is TJ Parker's? God, TJ Parker was a top 5 pick. Peter Woods is a top 5 pick at one point. God, they're probably middle first. I think Peter Woods goes first. And I think Parker goes probably 16, 17, 18, somewhere around there. But man, Clemson's defense has just been bad this year. But I still like both of them a lot. Lemon is another JSN. Thank you. Blasphemy. I don't know how I feel about bringing Brandon Ayuk here. I don't know how healthy he is. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut, but he could have been playing by now for sure. He definitely could be playing by now. All right, so we traded back. Let's see what we got here. We're on the. They took Mekhi Lemon at 9. That pisses me off. So who do we have here? Jeremiah Love, Keldrick Falk, David Bailey, Mansour Delane, Carnell Tate, Cassius Howell. See, I'm so fine taking Carnell Tate. I know a lot of people are going to say go Jeremiah Love, but I'm leaning Carnell Tate here. I'm leaning Tate. Like I said, I like Lemon more than him, and seeing Lemon go anywhere else. But God, that's such a good fit for them. They have Michael Wilson, who people are finally respecting. They have Marvin Harrison Jr. on the outside. Mekhi Lemon in the slot is just chef's kiss. So I'm going to go Carnell Tate. Everyone's saying Tate. So let's go Tate. I'm going to listen to y'all and my heart. Carnell Tate at pick 11. And now we're on the clock at 63 after our trade. Jonah Coleman, TJ Daniels. Oh, I really wanted Dylan. I really wanted AJ Halsey too. Dang. Shout out Jeremy Bernard. I'm going to go. Actually, this is easy. I'm going Kamari Ramsey. Kamari Ramsey is a stud defender. And we pick again at 71, so I might take my defensive end there. Which honestly, my defensive end is not even. That's my guy. Deny Dennis Sutton. No way he's a 100th player in this draft. That's blasphemy in itself. Yeah, I'm taking Kamari Ramsey. This is a guy who can play in the slot. He can play out at safety. 3.3% missed tackle rate. Great in coverage. Average depth of a run tackle, 18.2 yards, which is crazy. He is literally a rocket ship. When the play starts, he just flies around. Like I said, he can play in the slot. He can play deep. He can play in the box. He's like, 6 foot, 205. He's a thumper, but he also has some crazy interceptions. Hit a crazy interception against Texas A&M. Was it last year? Kamari Ramsey, if you do not know who he is, look him up. Him at 63, I would be hype. Genesis Smith is better than those two. Second rounds, I don't know, man. I like AJ Halsey and I like Dylan Thieneman because he's been a stud for since he was back at Purdue. I'm going Kamari Ramsey, man. Whoever the new defensive coordinator is, he would absolutely love that pick and he would thank me. Because like I said, you can play him in so many different spots, but Ramsey is a baller. Love Ramsey. Rod Moore is a good one too. Who just went? Shout out Dante Corleone, the Godfather. Eli Stowers. Michael Trigg is really tempting here. Derek Moore. Derek Moore might be the pick for me. Yeah. 11 sacks. A ton of pressures. It doesn't say, but it's a lot. 92.3 pass rushing win rate. 94 true pass rush grade. That's hard to say. 19% pass rush win rate. He's a beast. 6'3", 260. I don't care. So many people were overthinking Josiah Stewart. He's had a great season. But man, Derek Moore, Michael Trigg, Eli Stowers right here is a tough one. We don't pick again till 146. I'm sorry. I'm going Derek Moore, man. We got Carnell Tate. We got Kamari Ramsey. I'm going Derek Moore. He is so twitched up. We need that. There's your guy, Genesis Smith, again, staring at me. Now, I hate double dipping, but we might have to double dip and get Jalen Kilgore again because now we're on the clock at 146. We got our wide receiver. We got our safety. We got our edge. Yeah, Derek Moore is a beast. So is my guy, Clev Lubin. Shout out Coastal Carolina. Sammy. I don't trust Harold Perkins. I don't care what anybody says. I don't trust him. Deuce Robinson's another interesting one, but man, Sammy almost Sigho. He's been balling lately. Beat Alabama. Looked good. Sammy or Jalen Kilgore are my top two picks here. I wish we would draft her. If we were drafting a running back, Claiborne, Haynes, and Baxter is insane. Gets in the 5th round. Thoughts on Jamari Taylor? I haven't watched him enough to give an accurate thought on him, but shout out to the local kid. I know he's been balling all season, but yeah, I haven't watched as much UVA games as I would have liked to this year. But he's hooping. 13 touchdowns, almost 1,000 yards. Probably going to get that against Tech. Yeah, Kilgore could be like Eamon Mori. They're both big dudes. Man, I hate taking the same guy in 2 drafts, but man, I don't know. Sammy's there too, man. We need another linebacker. Like, is Frankie Louvu and Jordan McGee good enough to be starters next season? That worries me. Or like, but in free agency, like I like Quay Walker. I like Devin Lloyd. If you have a chance to get those two, then yeah, I'm not touching a linebacker in the draft. So for the sake of this, I sound like I'm in Shark Tank. I'm out. I'm gonna go Kilgore again. I know y'all gonna be mad at it, but man, it's just for what's on the board, it makes sense. We just took him in the last draft, but he's only 21. Yes, we need some youngins. That sounds crazy, but we need some youngins. I just don't trust Harold Perkins, man. I don't trust him. There's just too much talent. It's just, too many questions. There's too many question marks. I don't trust him. I don't trust him. I just don't know what they would do with him. Like, is he just going to rush the quarterback? Are they going to put him out in coverage? Like, I don't know. You address that in free agency or get Sammy talking about linebackers. I think they are talking about Louvu and McGee as starters with another defensive coordinator. Genesis Smith and Mekhi Lawrence should be a watch for you. They'll both be at the Senior Bowl. I'm dying for those to start those invites to start coming in. See, I would take Igbinosin because he's gotten better at his penalties, but we just took Kilgore again. Need some interior line. Talking about defense or offense? I think both. Defense, I mean, it depends what they do with Deron Payne, but I think he comes back. I think he comes back. But like offense, re-sign Chris Paul. I mean, maybe you're looking for depth, but like, I mean, in the 5th round, let's see, Jayden Roberts, right guard. Don't hate it. God, they've been rotating that offensive line all season. Nick Harbor. If you want to double down on wide receiver, we can get Nick Harbor and Cardinal Tate. Chase Roberts is a beast too. Let's see, 170, 185. I'm gonna go. See, I don't know enough about Kobe Baines. What is he? Right guard. Haven't watched enough of him, but he hasn't a lot of sack. If we're doing some interior line, if we're going to go interior line here, like you want Aaron, then excuse me, then I'd go Jayden Roberts. I think he's worth a flyer in the 5th round. So do you want to go offensive line, tight end, or who else did I like? Or double down again, Nick Harper, who is just he's another wild card. He's like the Harold Perkins. Aaron, I think we could double down on wide receiver, to be honest with you. I mean, I think Ayuk is a slam dunk, to be honest with you. Trey's new tackle will be playing guard at the next level, and that whole A&M O-line are monsters. True. Yeah, honestly, I'm cool with Trey. Let's take Trey. Who was it? Aaron said he wanted some interior offensive line, so I'm gonna listen to my people. But could you get Trey at 185? Probably not. Because offensive line's so wanted. All right, let's go offensive line. Let's get some depth here. They'll re-sign Chris Paul because he's been playing well. Sam Cosmi, he's still coming back. He's not really 100% yet, I'm sure. But they need some more depth as well. And if he needs to play tackle for whatever reason, somebody goes down, cool. We'll shift him back outside. We need to draft a slot corner and put Mikey on the outside. So we got a corner. Kamari Ramsey, he can play. He played a lot of slot this year. He played 251 snaps at slot. He's played 103 in the box, and he played 93 as a deep safety. Excuse me, but so he's my guy. You can play him as a safety. You can play him as a corner. And then we got Jalen Kilgore as the other guy. So we are heavily investing in the secondary at this rate, and then also Derek Moore on the edge and Carnell Tate as our weapon on offense. Lawson Lucky. God, Georgia's passing offense just always sucks. Unless you got a Brock Bowers. 6'4", 240. Tanner, I'm not going to take him in back-to-back drafts. I like Oscar Delp a lot. He just hasn't really produced. Dane Key. Wow, I haven't heard the name in a minute. All right, y'all want to go tight end? Tight end. We can do another wide receiver if you want. You said another pass rusher. I mean, I'm cool with that too. If you want to go depth pass rusher too. George Gums, I don't know anything about here. Nico Iamava. I'm good on Nico, to be honest with you. I'm good on any quarterback, and I'm especially good on Nico. So someone said, let's get another pass rusher. So I'm good on doing that. Max Llewellyn, 6 sacks. 6'5", 263. So he's a little bit of a bigger guy. Linebacker, you think Luvu and Jordan are it? I don't know. I just really like the linebackers in free agency. I really like Devin Lloyd, and I really like Quay Walker. So let's do this. Let's do linebacker. Let's do edge. Let's do tight end. We can do another wide receiver. And honestly, I think that's good. I'm going to go, gosh, I do like Oscar Delp. I do like Delp. 6'5", 245. He's a senior and he's only 22. Wow. Kevin Coleman Jr. Gosh, he's been nice this year too. Only one touchdown on 715 yards. That's kind of wild. Contested catch rate, 81%. Good God. Jumping out the gym. I'm not going to get 2 edge rushers but Damon Wilson, 7 sacks. And he might be the guy I go after. They have him at 229 though. I'm going to go Oscar Delp. I know he hasn't really produced this season. Georgia's offense is so bad, and they have like 17 tight ends that they just rotate around. So I'm going to go Oscar Delp. He's a bigger name than anything right now, but man, if you're getting him in the 6th round, why the heck not take a flyer on him? And then at 190, I'm going to go with, gosh, I really want to go Kevin Coleman. Got Mark Fletcher's a beast too. Like I said, Damone Wilson. Aiden Fisher's nice. Kyle Lewis, I took in the last draft. I'm gonna double down on wide receiver. You got Trevor Pena. I'm gonna go. Yeah, where is he at? I'm gonna go Kevin Coleman Jr. Beast. He's a playmaker. He's made a lot of plays this year. I know he only has 1 touchdown, but he's got almost 800 yards And he just makes contested catch after contested catch. Big dude. Jacob Rodriguez, yeah, he'd be a beast. I don't know where they had him go, but it was way up here. Jacob's going to be like a 4th round pick. We should bring Curl back. I mean, I'd be open to it. I don't know how much. Quentin Lake's a free agent too. And they got Cam Kinchins. So does Kinchins take over for Curl? And then they bring Quentin Lake back. I mean, they're gonna lose either Quentin Lake or Cam Curl, and I would take either of them, to be honest with you. Yeah, Kevin Coleman is super intriguing, man. I didn't really come onto his game until later in the season. Then obviously when Alabama played him, I'm like, dang, this guy's actually nice. Yeah, I have scouted Zion Young, and he's one of those dogs too. I put him. Was he in my 7th round mock draft? I think he wasn't in my first 7 round mock draft I did. He was my guy in the 3rd, which I think by the time the draft comes around, he's going to be like a top 55, top 60 pick, but he's a beast. I love Zion Young. He's one of those feisty guys at the line. He's nice. Do you believe in Bitsnot? And do you think we get Ayuk? I do believe in Ben, and I'm not just saying that because that's my boy. But yeah, I think once Zach moves on, but then they're going to get another tight end. They just need to feature him some more. Like in these last games of the season, and Dan Quinn talked about it a little bit. You know, you want to win games, but you also want to see what you have in your youngins. Like Zach Ertz, if you know you're not going to bring back Zach Ertz, then just play Ben some more. Once they're officially eliminated from the playoffs, so say they lose to the Broncos and they lose to the Vikings, I'm sure that would officially eliminate them from the playoffs. I mean, if that doesn't, I don't know what does. But whenever that happens, if it happens, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. It's less than 1% chance right now. But once they're officially eliminated, then you have to play him some more. You like between like Bobby doesn't need to be playing. I'd be like, sorry, Bobby, but we got to see what we got in Jordan McGee. I'm taking everybody off. Like Quan, like you can go, but I'm gonna put Tyler Owens back there. Like he played safety in college. Like I'm gonna put him in starting over Quan. Like I'm starting every young guy. I don't like Ja'Cory Brooks. You're coming in for Debo. Like I don't care, man. You need to just see what this roster has. It blows my mind. Like if this team is still playing Zach Ertz, Bobby Wagner, and all these players against the Eagles in the last game of the season, I give up. Like I give up. You're going to go into this offseason and have no idea what anybody looks like. And then you're going to go into free agency. You're going to go through the draft. You're going to look at your roster and be like, okay, well, we hope Ben's going to start. We hope Jordan McGee can start. Like we hope, all these players are just going to be sure starters for us this season. And if not, we're going to look back and it's going to be exactly how it is right now this time next season. That's like my biggest fear. That is my biggest fear. Like take advantage of free agency, take advantage of the draft. And just for the love of God, man, just play your young players. I really want them to evaluate now with better coaches. That's what I'm saying. Like, and whoever comes in here as defensive coordinator, like give him something to watch on film so he knows how to use these players. Like, please. All right. Last pick. Right now, let's do a little recap. Cardinal Tate at 11. We traded back with the Rams, and we got pick 63, who I took Kamari Ramsey. He's one of my favorite defensive players in the draft. Such a fun guy to watch. Derek Moore, super underrated pass rusher. I love me some Derek Moore. He stuck out last year when I was watching Josiah Stewart a bunch. And him in the 3rd round is amazing. Same Jalen Kilgore, took him in the last draft I just did. Had to do it here too, just because the value is insane and we need another corner. Trezun, the 3rd, plays tackle, but he, like someone said in the chat, probably can move over into guard at the next level. Be a really good depth piece for us there in the 5th round. So if Chris Paul goes down, Sam Cosmi goes down, we at least have somebody. Andrew Wiley's a free agent. I don't see him coming back, so he can take Wiley's spot. And then Oscar Delp, another true receiving threat to take Zach Ertz's spot. And Delp, Ben Sinnott, and John Bates might be something. That's enough to get me up in the morning, at least to be excited. And then Kevin Coleman Jr., another one, he's intriguing. wide receiver prospects. Like I said, he's super fun to watch. Don't just look at his one touchdown. Look at his 800 yards and how he gets those yards. He's a fun dude to watch. Wide receiver out of Missouri, and they don't really have that much of a passing game. Bo, I love you, man. I know you hurt your ankle and you just came back. Shout out to Bo. He was always good to me at Penn State. Talked to him a bunch, like in the locker room stuff. Really good guy. But damn, they can't throw the ball. Missouri cannot throw the ball. And Kevin Coleman still has like 800 yards, which is crazy. They just run the ball down people's throats. So for our last pick, part of me really wants to go linebacker Drake Bowen, Aiden Fisher. Kyle Lewis is who I just took in the last draft. Zane Durant. Someone else said interior defensive tackle. Do you feel as if DQ's energy has been weirdly off all year long? No, I think like I know we're drained. I know we're checked out. Like imagine how he feels, like all these injuries. The Jayden's first injury, it's like, okay. Jayden's second injury, you're like, oh my God. Jayden's third injury, bro, I legit had tears coming out of my eyes. I cannot imagine. And Dan Quinn, like, the next day took accountability for it. Like he's energy wise, like I know he needed that bye week. He needed that bye week. It has been a nightmare season. And Terry getting hurt in the third game of the season, missed 4 games, came back, got hurt again. He missed 4 games. So yeah, I don't think he's been off, but he definitely went through it. D-line depth, yeah. Well, I'll take some D-line depth here. I'm gonna take my guy Zane Durant, interior D tackle. Good pass rusher. We need that from the interior. 6'1", 287. Big dude. Not the tallest, but he is stout and strong. Shout out to Zane Durant. I'm a big fan, especially if you're getting him in the 7th round. So we traded back in this one. We traded back from 7 to 11. We got 63, 170, and a 3rd round pick next year. So we finally got a 2nd round pick. And that's honestly like my favorite one. I love Cardinal Tate, love him to death. Him at 11, like great pick. But Kamari Ramsey at 63 after not having a 2nd round pick. Like this is what makes me like stay up at night thinking about trading back scenarios. Like, man, what if the Cardinals need a quarterback, which they do? They're not going to keep Kyler Murray another season. What if they trade up and get somebody? I know we only go back 2 spots, but like you can still get a Cardinal Tate. With the Cardinals, you're going to get pick 73 instead of 63, but still, like, man, if we can get an extra 3rd, we can get a late 2nd and trade back, get a 3rd for next year. So we're in a good spot for 2027, which is a loaded draft, and 170 this year. Like, because once again, like, and this is for everybody, and people are going to say, well, duh, for Adam Peters, but not every draft is just going to be hit after hit after hit. Like I tell people, the draft is like the lottery. You either got a good ticket or you don't. And you just got to pick your numbers wisely. Like, is Cardinal Tate, does he have a better chance of, being a really good player? For sure. But is he going to be some slam dunk, like surefire guy? No one knows. Nobody knows. The draft is a gigantic crapshoot. But you have to draft for your team needs, which obviously the defense is going to change. Once we get a new defensive coordinator, my thought process is going to shift. I'm going to say, okay, this guy runs a lot of cover 3. This guy runs a lot of man. This guy runs, a lot of quarters, whatever it is. Then my mindset's going to change to say, okay, I'm going to draft Kamari Ramsey because, in whoever scheme, he's going to be the free safety, or in this guy's scheme, he's going to be the slot corner, because he likes bigger slot corners that can press at the line and carry somebody in man, or whatever that looks like. So it's going to change. And same with offense. If we lose Cliff Kingsbury and we get somebody else, if we get Mike McDaniel, it's going to be a complete different offensive scheme in so many ways. Like, okay, you're going to do a lot more motion. Cardinal Tate might not be the guy. It would be Mekhi Lemon instead. Because that's just the kind of player that Mike McDaniel would be drooling over Cardinal Tate. If you just look at, obviously with, I'm blanking, Tyreek and Jalen Waddle, they're more like Mekhi Lemon style. Can play inside, can play outside, small, compact, fast. Cardinal Tate is more straight outside guy, bigger dude. Not as fast as Mekhi Lemon, of course, but he can still get downfield, still a deep threat, but just a completely different kind of wide receiver. So this is going to change. This is all going to change, I am sure. Can you draft with putting possible free agents in mind? I might have to. Because that is important too. And I kind of keep that in my head as I'm, drafting. Like I'm thinking, okay, if they get Devin Lloyd, I'm not getting a linebacker. If they get and I'm not drafting any running backs because I think they leave with one of those top running backs in free agency. They definitely will. If they got any sense, they better throw guaranteed money at Justin Tucker. He's actually working out with the Saints this week, I think, or he already has. I'm not sure. I know who do need a quarterback. Right? Are you funny, bro? His name's not JJ. It's 9. Okay. Yo, JJ, I'm going to say this real quick to end it. JJ McCarthy is so bad. So bad. Now he's hurt again. Like, this is what his 3rd, 4th injury of the season. And he's so bad. Like his foot, like he slings his foot when he throws the ball. It's so bad. The Vikings need to trade him for like a 3rd. You could list them off while you draft. I might have to do that. It's a lot, and I feel like if I do that, this mock draft, like one draft, is going to take me like an hour and a half because, as y'all can tell, I just ramble a lot. But all right, guys, this is the second one. Like I said, we traded back. We got Cardinal Tate at wide receiver at 11. We got Kamar Ramsey at 63 for our safety or slot corner. Depends who our defensive coordinator is. Derek Moore at edge, underrated dude. Jalen Kilgore at corner. More of an outside guy for sure. Trey Zun 3rd to play more of a guard, backup in the 5th round. Oscar Delp, big name, didn't produce a lot this year at Georgia, but their passing game also sucks, and they have like 3 or 4 tight ends that they rotate. Kevin Coleman Jr. and Zane Durant. Shout out to Zane Durant. I think he's a really good pass rusher from the D tackle spot. Not the best run blocker, but if you're rotating him in like obvious passing down situations, that's the guy I want on the field. Him, Deron Payne. Actually, him, Deron. I don't know. Newton's more of a pass rusher than he is a run stopper. We'll see. We got options, but I appreciate y'all for coming on here, man. Like I said, we got some Monday Night Football coming up. Good one tonight, 49ers and Panthers, and I have a ton more articles coming out, obviously just covering the team this week with like injuries and stuff, but tomorrow morning, 6 a.m., I have a 3-round trade back mock draft that I did, which is kind of similar to this one, but it's different. One player is the same in the top 3 picks. I'm not going to tell you which one, but I did a little bit more of a deep dive there, and I have a lot more stuff that I'm covering this week as well. And I'm also writing about Alabama too. So if you're an Alabama fan like me, then check out our Alabama site as well, because I've been writing about them a bunch with playoffs and stuff coming up. But we got 6 more games. Jayden Daniels probably won't be back this week. Terry, I'm leaning 50-50. I don't think Terry plays this week either. I think Terry and Jayden both come back against the Vikings. I think they would smack the Vikings. It's going to be like, I say smack, but it's going to be like 20-7. It's going to be a low-scoring smackage. And then who do they have after Vikings? There's one more. Who am I missing? After Vikings, they have someone. Oh, is it just Giants, Eagles, Cowboys, Eagles? Dang. So we're about to go on our little NFC East run with Jayden and Terry, and we'll see what happens with our picks. But if you are rooting for people to lose ahead, your best bet is the Browns to win a couple of games with Shador. Vegas Raiders aren't winning any more games this season. Giants, they've shown that they can squeak out some wins, and we play them. So I think Washington could win 2 more games. I think Washington could beat the Giants. I think they'd beat the Vikings. I don't think they'd beat the Eagles, and I don't think they'll beat the Cowboys, just being honest with y'all. And I don't think they'd beat the Broncos without Jayden and Terry. So I think Washington wins 2 more games. They get 5 wins on the season. Oof. What's that? 5-12. I mean, shoot, that might be enough to get a top 6 pick. That might be enough. Should we put Quan Martin in the slot? Honestly, at this point, try the last 2 games of the season and see what happens. He played everywhere at Illinois, so I'm not going to say no. If we beat the Giants and Vikings, then we end up on 10 instead of 8. Yeah, but obviously it depends what happens. But if we lose the rest of our games, let's say Cleveland wins like 2-3 more games somehow with Shador and they're really good defense, there's just a lot that needs to happen. We need Cincinnati to win a couple. We need Arizona to win a couple. And we need Miami and the Falcons to win a couple to get away from us. So I think they win 2 more games. It wouldn't surprise me if they land at 7 by the time the season's over. I think it's going to be 6, 7, or 8. I think it's going to be right here. I don't think they're going to be bad enough to be a top 5 team. I don't think so. And I don't think they're going to win enough to get out of the top 10. If I had to put money on it, I'd say 7. Because I think you got like 2 more matchups of teams playing each other in this crapshoot here. I forgot who it is. I can't remember, but I feel like there's 2 more matchups with like in the top 10 before the season ends. So we got a lot to look at. Also, you have to keep in mind strength of schedule. Our strength of schedule is 0.516. You want this to be as low as possible. Like the Browns are above us because their strength of schedule's lower. Cincinnati's is more, so that's why they're behind us. And of course, it just goes up here. And so, I mean, if the teams that Washington plays all season keep losing, which, like I said, it's all NFC East teams at the end of the year, so it's kind of just like even out. If we lose to the Eagles, we've already beat the Giants once, so we'll see. It'll even out. But yeah, I don't see the Jets or Raiders winning another game either. I mean, God, they're so bad. Raiders are so bad. The Raiders, like Jesus. I feel bad for the Titans because they're 1-10, but I promise you, the Raiders are a worse team than the Titans. They are so bad. I don't know how we barely beat them. Like Gino had like 360 yards on us or something. It was embarrassing. He absolutely should not have. But I'm gonna hop off here, y'all. I'm gonna get back to writing some articles for tomorrow, and the team has the day off tomorrow, so we're not gonna hear from Dan Quinn or anybody. They're back Wednesday. I'm gonna say his press conference is at 11. Let me check the media schedule. No, I don't need to buy anything. Not the transcripts. So yeah, team is off tomorrow. And they'll be back at 1 o'clock on Wednesday. Dan Quinn's talking at 12:25. Wow, very specific on Wednesday. Thursday is Thanksgiving. They have a practice at 1, kind of crazy. And Cliff will be talking at 11:45. And then Friday, they have an early 11 a.m. practice, and Dan Quinn talks after that. So that's what we have for the rest of the week. So, wow, Thanksgiving is Thursday. So, y'all have a good Thanksgiving. If I don't talk to you on social media, make sure you follow me on X at Josh Taylor FB and check out the website. If I can get rid of this, A2ZSports.com. Check out all of my articles there. Like I said, I got another mock draft in the morning and just hitting all kind of stuff. I'll talk about some more fantasy stuff. I'll talk about some more defensive coordinator candidates as we just continue to cover this team the last 6 weeks. I can't believe it. And it sucks that this season has gone this bad. But we made the most of it. Like this fan base, we're used to it. last year was just like that was our Super Bowl season, honestly. Even though they didn't make it there, it felt like they did. Like that was an insane run. But now got to finish out this season, and then it's back to work for AP. So appreciate y'all coming through. Hit that thumbs up and subscribe on your way out. And I will see y'all next Monday night. Yeah, because we play Sunday night. So I will see y'all next Monday night. Peace.